All right, let's dive into Stave 4 of A Christmas Carol. This is it, you guys, the big one, the final spirit. Scrooge is about to face his most terrifying lesson yet, a journey into a future that, well, he might have already sealed for himself.
So, bam! We meet the final spirit right away. And Dickens' choice of words here is just brilliant. He hits us with this triplet, slowly, gravely, silently. You can just feel the atmosphere shift, can't you? It immediately creates this sense of dread. We know right from the get-go, this isn't going to be a fun, festive ghost. This is the spirit of consequence.
And look at the contrast here. It's just so stark. Remember the ghost of Christmas Present? You know, the big jolly giant in the green robe, always talking, full of life? Well, this new phantom is the complete opposite. It's wrapped in black, it's mysterious, and most importantly, it's silent. And that silence, that's its greatest weapon. There's no comfort, no handy explanations. Scrooge is forced to figure out these terrifying visions all by himself.
And Scrooge feels that power right away, doesn't he? He actually admits it. I fear you more than any specter I have seen. And this is a huge shift. Think about it. He's not just scared of some spooky ghost anymore. He's scared of the unknown. He's scared of what the future holds, the future this silent guide represents. This is really the moment he starts to get it, that the future is something he actually has to take responsibility for. Okay, so the spirit wastes zero time. It kicks off its lesson by taking Scrooge on this really mysterious tour. He just overhears bits and pieces of conversations, all about some guy who's just died. And the one thing that connects all these conversations? Nobody seems to care. At all. So, where's the first stop? The London Stock Exchange, of course. Scrooge's home turf. And this is Dickens being so clever, right? He's using these wealthy businessmen to critique just how heartless the world of commerce can be. They talk about this death with this chilling indifference. There's no sadness, no shock, nothing. It's just a cold fact. And then, what do they talk about next? His money, of course. It just shows you exactly where their priorities are.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? I don't mind going if a lunch is provided. Wow. The guy's entire life, his death, is just reduced to a joke, a transaction. The only reason to even show up is for a free lunch. It's such dark humor from Dickens, and it perfectly highlights how shallow and meaningless their relationships are. It's all about profit, not people.
All right, so now the scene shifts dramatically. We go from the rich world of the stock exchange to a really grimy, poor part of the city. And you might be thinking, okay, maybe here we'll find some sympathy. But nope. Dickens cleverly shows us that nobody, rich or poor, seems to have any feeling for this dead man.
So who do we meet? A couple of servants and an undertaker's assistant, all at a pawn shop selling off stuff they've stolen from the dead guy. And just listen to how they justify it. It's this perfect twisted echo of Scrooge's own selfish philosophy. They're basically saying, hey, he was selfish his whole life, so why shouldn't we be? They're just treating him the way he treated everybody else.
And look at what they're selling. It's just audacious. They didn't just grab a few valuable trinkets. No, they took the curtains from around his bed, the blankets, while he was still lying there. But the absolute worst part, they stole the very shirt off his corpse. Why? Because burying him in a good shirt would be a waste. I mean, you can't get more disrespectful than that. And then she laughs. The woman's laughter here is just so chilling. And her words revealed this massive irony. She literally says that because he pushed everyone away in life, it made it easy for them to profit from him in death. Think about that. The very loneliness he created to protect his money is what left him completely vulnerable to these people. It's this dark, perfect poetic justice from Dickens. Okay, so now the Phantom forces Scrooge to face the music. He's brought into this dark, silent room, and there's a body on the bed covered by a sheet. And Dickens hits us with another one of his famous triplets to describe it. Unwatched, unwept, uncared for. This is it. This is the lonely, miserable end for a man who lived only for himself. Scrooge is, as you can imagine, absolutely horrified. He's desperate. He begs the spirit, show me anyone who feels anything about this death. He just needs to see some proof that a person's life actually meant something to someone. So the spirit does what he asks, but the answer is maybe even worse than what he's already seen. We see this poor but loving family, and are they sad? No, they're happy. They are actually relieved that this man is dead. Why? Because he was their cruel creditor, and now that he's gone, they might actually be able to survive. The only emotion his death caused was pleasure. Ouch. Okay, this is just too much for Scrooge. He makes one last plea. He begs to see some tenderness connected with the death. He needs to see that death can be about love and sadness, not just greed and relief. So the spirit takes him to the one place where he might find it, Bob Cratchit's home.
And the moment they arrive, you can feel it. The whole atmosphere of the house has changed. The place that was always so full of life and laughter, it's just quiet. So quiet. And this isn't that scary, intimidating silence of the phantom. This is a silence that's heavy with grief, a silence born from love and loss.
And then we find out why. Tiny Tim has died. Bob Cratchit comes home, and he just breaks down, crying for his little child. And this scene is the ultimate contrast, isn't it? Tiny Tim had absolutely nothing, but his death leaves this huge hole in a family that's just filled with love. Meanwhile, the rich dead man had everything, and he left behind nothing but an empty room and some stolen bed curtains.
The journey is almost over. The ghost leads Scrooge on one last walk. They pass his old office, someone else is already working there, and then they arrive at this grim, neglected churchyard. You just know this is the final stop. This is where the truth is waiting. But before we get the final reveal, Scrooge asks the single most important question in the whole book. He asks if these are shadows of what will be or just what may be. In other words, is this future set in stone or can I change it? His entire chance at redemption hangs on the answer to this one question. And the phantom, true to form, says nothing. It doesn't give him an answer in words. Instead, its response is just one simple, terrifying gesture. It raises its hand and points down to a single weed-covered grave. A grave that's as unloved and uncared for as the man who's in it. And there it is, the horrifying final truth. Scrooge creeps closer, he reads the name on the stone, and he finally understands. The unloved man, the man whose death was a joke to the businessman, a payday for thieves, and a relief for that poor family, it was him. It was Ebenezer Scrooge all along.
That realization just shatters him completely. He falls to his knees, grabbing at the phantom's robe, totally broken. And in this moment of just pure terror, he starts making these desperate promises, vowing that he will change.
This is it. He has finally learned his lesson. He says, I am not the man I was. He promises he's going to honor Christmas all year round. And, most importantly, he says he'll live in the past, the present, and the future. He's promising to take the lessons from all three spirits and actually live by them. And this is his last desperate plea. Oh, tell me, I may sponge away the writing on this stone. What a powerful metaphor, right? He literally wants to wipe the slate clean, to erase his old life and start a new one. He's begging for that second chance, right up until the phantom just sort of collapses and disappears, leaving Scrooge all alone. So Stave 4 leaves us with this really powerful idea to think about. The ghost of Christmas yet to come didn't show Scrooge a future that was guaranteed. It showed him the logical outcome of the life he was living. It's a huge reminder that our actions today really do define our legacy tomorrow. But, and this is the crucial part, it also shows us that it's never too late to change.